Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Well, night 2 of Grand Slam and was presented by Collision, AEW Collision. And I have to say that was there a lot of bang for the buck when it came to the second part? Of course, I'm here with Ariana Natagrande and Homelook Mike here on the part 2 segment of Around the Square Circle, the host of History and Headlocks. And of course, Ariana was in the building for it. By this time, were people getting heavy-eyed? Were they getting tired of what was going on with the show?
If they did, they left, but there weren't that many people leaving. There were still a lot of people invested in the show.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough for New Yorkers, man. New York to be running so late, it's ridiculous.
It is. It is.
Shit, I remember leaving WrestleMania at the last one I was in New York, and luckily we had a ride. But the downpour that occurred at like 12:30, and people were pissed because they couldn't get on the New Jersey Transit. It was ridiculous. I was like,
bet. Yeah.
I was like, oh God, thank God that's not me. But yeah, so for Collision this week, plus and minuses going in from you guys, starting with Mike. Well, what was the plus and minus for you going in with it? Any expectations going in for the night 2?
As far as matches, I was looking forward to the Hangman Jarrett one to see what they were going to do. I hoped going into it, Hangman would just beat the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. So just to solidify his character. So that was one of them. Jamie Hayter to see how she looks also as well. We'll go talk about that. But aside from those two, this was pretty much an average episode of Collision, honestly.
All right, so going into the first match, which was, I believe, Hayter versus Saraya, right?
Yeah, I have the whole lineup here. If you want to go.
All right, so before we go into the full round, I just wanted to get Adi's outlook on that. Did it look as brutal as it probably could from your viewpoint as it did on TV? Because some of the spots I was like,
yeah, it did, especially when Saraya was using like the VCR and the keyboard on Jamie. Like you could hear the cracks throughout the whole the entire arena. Yeah, I was like, did she pull out a VCR? I didn't know if it was a VCR or if it was like an old school computer, because then she pulled out the keyboard. But then I see on TV that it was an old VCR.
Right.
But yeah, it was a pretty brutal match, and Saraya was really laying in on Jamie along with Harley.
So you mean to tell me that they went to a local pawn shop and found these old vintage retro? Somebody who's a collector is going, no, not the RCA, no.
I know.
No, and you know how much that costs? No.
And I didn't realize, from my point of view, I thought she had broken out like the Legos. But they were the little Matchbox cars.
Yeah, they were cars. Even that collectibles, I'm looking at it going, wait a minute.
Because those are little steel die, you know?
I'm like, wait a minute. Those might be worth some money on that one. The funny part is that she dumped them, and like the majority of them landed wheels side down.
Yeah.
So they all were like rolling all over the fucking table.
Yeah.
They drove off.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
That was great.
Meanwhile, Harley took the crazy bump on the table where Jamie went through one and Harley just pretty much slammed on the second one.
Right.
Yeah, she was taking a lot of bumps. Like when Jamie was like slamming her into the barricades multiple times. Like those were loud live.
Well, Jamie also she missed. She almost got the Spike Dudley treatment when she missed the other table and went like head on with the other one. She should have went through two, or it actually went through one.
Yeah,
so that was it's a little scary at times. But
it was a brutal match.
hey, listen, for a woman who just re-signed with the company, they threw her ass in a match and said, "Well, earn that check. All right, so yeah, go get that money."
I think they need to present her a little differently because I understand with her previous neck injuries, and she also has some feminine health issues that have probably kept her from
Mhm.
wrestling as often as she should have. So if she can't wrestle as often because of that, then at least make the matches that she can do count,
Right.
right?
But
Make them impactful. And I thought this was a pretty impactful match. It showed a very brutal side of Saraya. Um, it was
Would you
fun to watch as well.
What'd you think of Jamie's performance? I mean, this is pretty much her third match back from her.
Yeah,
She's been gone for pretty much a year. Which I mean, she looked fine.
over a year. I think
Yeah.
right to say over like 400 days that she was
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
I can't believe it was that long. I mean, she looked good, but it's kind of hard with her being double teamed throughout the whole match.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like her trying to rally herself back from this super unfair stipulation match against her. But she looked good. She hit her spots really good. She especially at the end when she was able to defeat Saraya.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see her have a fair match, whether it's with Saraya or Harley or whoever else, if they move away from this.
Yeah,
I mean,
we got to see something branch off a little bit more with the women's division. It kind of starts getting repetitive after a while, especially with Tony not being around for a little bit. Let's mix them up. Let's interchange them. Let's get some kind of variety with them. I'm wondering if this is going to be a time where Saraya finds an opening to be a little bit more villainous. But as for Jamie, I already know that they're poised to get her back to the top.
mm-hmm.
Next up.
I mean, it's either Mercedes or they go right to Mariah May for Jamie Hayter.
Right.
God help us if it's Mercedes.
Yeah, just keep the spray paint away from Saraya. That wasn't working for too long.
Next up, TNT Championship Open Challenge. Jack Perry defending against the mystery opponent, and it was Minoru Suzuki. The reaction live was, how would you describe it, Ariana?
Everyone was excited.
Because this was the first thing you said they did, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was after the Ring of Honor taping match. That was the second match that they taped that night. So, once his Tron popped up, everybody was hyped up. They popped for him. It's Suzuki. Everybody pops for him. Everybody. It's funny because I was watching this one man in the audience near me because he had on like the sequin Macho Man jacket on, so you can't miss him, right? And when Jack Perry came out, he was hyped for Jack Perry. Like he was one of the few people actually like really, he got booed as soon as he came out, but he was just cheering on for him, chanting EVP, blah blah blah. But as soon as Suzuki came out, it was like it all changed for him. It's like he forgot about Jack Perry. He was screaming for Suzuki. Everybody was singing with the song. It just cracks me up because his theme song is Japanese, right?
Yeah, they
and
just wait that one part.
At one part, and everybody's like, whatever the hell the lyrics.
Yeah.
Kazi ni nae.
Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, it was hysterical. So he got a good reception when he came out. Yeah.
And this was pretty much every Minoru Suzuki match ever under the sun. So
big brawl, yeah.
Yeah, you had the chops where he laughs him off, and I mean,
destroyed Perry with the chop. And Perry sold those chops beautifully. Where he collapsed.
I mean, he's one of the best sellers right now. So
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much not the problem with him. It's always his heat factor or his character work, which again, like if it can't be all against your favorite, everybody's favorite wrestler that loves to hate them or love them. I mean, the dude's not in the company anymore. We need to find something to him heat. And like I said, it could be simple of saying like I'm going to leave a better legacy than my father, and my father's 10 feet on the ground, like something simple and stupid like that.
Right.
But Perry won, and then we had Katsura Shibata come make the save, and pretty much we had a moment with Shibata and Suzuki faced off. So
yeah, it was surprising to see how the match ended though, like a count out. But I guess he's not gonna realistically get a pin on Suzuki.
And when was the last time we see a real count out in AEW too? Like
Yeah, because
shit.
usually they don't. You know, the countouts are very like minimal there. Like they don't really count them out. They
There's
just
always
count.
there's always a finish with clean too. They never do
Yeah,
DQs, countouts. I mean, that was the one thing Tony said. Like, we're not going to be
right.
them over there because they overuse their finishes. Now it's like,
And I guess that's the only way they could really end this match because it's Suzuki. He can't. He's not gonna get pinned by freaking Jack Perry. He's not gonna win it, obviously.
and you think about what is Jack Perry's finish? Like, what does he use to finish a match?
That's a good question. I don't even know.
Wasn't it like the what the fucking mare, the snap, not the snap mare, the sling mare or some shit like that? That was like a submission hold.
Yeah, and you're not gonna make Minoru Suzuki tap out in New York City. There's no fucking way.
No. So, and it also looked like it was their way of trying to set up a program with him and Shibata.
Right, because Shibata made the run in afterwards and such. I'm still conflicted about the whole idea because DQs and countouts, they are part of wrestling. Overused, yes, it could be watered down the product and watered down matches, but it is part of wrestling. It is how you continue and stretch out storylines and angles and such like that. How you intertwine other entities that come in. I think when you leave it up to just complete, at least add knockouts, put KOs in there if you're gonna do something of that magnitude. Yeah, if you don't want to do DQ finishes and stuff, at least put the slip that you could get knocked out during a match. But with them, I know they're being different, but I still say all along the line is like, yeah, it's still part of wrestling.
Yeah, I felt like this, like you mentioned it being a knockout. Like this kind of also brought in a knockout because he got slammed into the stairs head first, and he was laid out, so he couldn't get into the ring in time.
Right.
So it was effective for this match. Surprising, but effective.
Because like we said, it could be Shibata, but like, what's the long term for Jack Perry? Because before he got injured, it was definitely going to be Copeland dropping the belt to Perry to give him the rub.
Right.
But I mean, do we wait for Copeland to come back or?
Yeah, I don't know when he'll be back. I know he's training again. I saw him working with FTR in the ring, so it's got to be maybe at the end of the year.
He's I think they were looking at, I believe it was, if not December, sometime January.
Yeah.
And all for that stupid dive where he broke his leg.
I know, he's like, the hell was my old ass thinking?
Exactly.
I mean, as soon as he got up there, you can see on his face, he goes, "Oh shit!"
Full regret.
Jesucristo! It just went and just did what he had to do.
And Gangrel was probably like, "No."
When Gangrel's the voice of reason, there's a problem there.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
Tornadoes Trios match. We had the conglomeration of ROH World Champion Mark Briscoe, ROH World Champion, by the way, that has not appeared on TV once this year. Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy, maybe once, but come on.
No, he's been on Ring of Honor, but defending the belt.
Just to pay-per-views. Anyway, Brian Keith, the Big Redwood, Big Bill, and the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho.
No.
What was the reaction for? I know there's two different types of reactions. One for Big Bill and the other for Chris Jericho.
Yeah, first of all, Big Bill got that big Queen's pop. They were chanting his name. Every little move he made, he could have just did this. He got a pop. And he was, at first he was like, but then he started kind of like feeling it, and he was like, yeah, he was getting into it too. And I'm like, there's something here. Yeah. And if Tony and his team are paying attention, they should do something with it.
I mean, they're teasing dissension already with Bill and Jericho, because Jericho cut a promo a few weeks ago saying, "I don't like in this business, you don't need friends, and you're using people for the sake of using them." And then Bill had that face like, "Wait, am I being used then?" Because then,
yes, you are, sir.
Yes, you are. Exactly, both of you, both him and Brian. It's like, this happened at All In. He got the big pop too during his match with who was he wrestling? Hook, right? Like, he was the one getting the pops during that match. Now it happened again here in New York, where he was getting pops throughout the whole match. They need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, it's funny. I always say that Brian Keith is just like, he's like so out of place in this group. Like, it's just
the bounty hunter to the bad apple.
Right.
He cracked me up though with his little his little one-liners here and there.
But it's just like when you see them all like with this group, I'm like, no, we could have seen him somewhere else. I would have actually thought maybe with Brian Cage's group or something like that, but with Jericho, no, I don't see it. No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that was just a way to try to give him a little more screen time, put him over.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, for somebody like Chris Jericho, not for nothing, if you would have put like Luchasaurus with him, it would make sense. Be like, listen, I'm the greatest of all time. And if I want a damn dinosaur as my partner, I'm gonna have a dinosaur.
Right.
But like you believe it because of his. But just you got Jericho's reaction live. What was because he was born in New York, but I think recently
he claims Canada.
Jericho's gonna get an initial pop because it's Jericho, right? He's gonna come out. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's Chris Jericho." They're gonna get excited. Throughout the match, it was kind of mixed in the audience. Like, Jericho's gonna have his fan base no matter what.
Right.
I love Jericho, even as annoying as he's been. He's Jericho, people in the audience tons of people in the crowd were like waving, "Hi guys!" They're eating it up. They really do.
Just Jay's face.
But overall, it was a fun
it should be the thumbnail.
It was a fun little exciting match that got people like entertained throughout. Nothing major came out of it.
I know people hate when I say this, but this was in WWE. Jericho would get the "please retire" chance.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still emanated around in certain parts of the country when he comes out, so it still pops up.
I'm waiting for Jay to talk about his favorite part when Cassidy and Jericho faced off again.
No, not at all. No.
I mean, I was more happy to see Briscoe interact with Jericho because that's something you never thought you would see in your life.
Yeah, the only thing I don't know if you saw my text, Mike, when I was watching it. When Tony Schiavone said something about Jericho wanting the Ring of Honor belt back, I'm like, no, just absolutely the fuck not. No.
We need a 52.
We are not doing this again. Please do not give this man the Ring of Honor belt. He does not need it.
You know what the sad thing is? They're going to do Briscoe and Jericho just to sell a pay-per-view.
I mean, that's fine, but do not give the belt to freaking Jericho. Keep that belt on Mark.
I mean, give it to Takeshita or Jericho. Jericho hooks some shit.
Whoever wins the belt from Mark has to be an up-and-comer, not a freaking old guy. No.
I mean, it was funny before to have Jericho hold the belt, but not for a second time.
It was way too long. Like, if he had it for a couple of weeks, cool. But how long did he have it? Like 5 freaking months or something? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Swerve is spreading some kind of backstage news that shouldn't be talked about how AEW is going cross platforms on different networks and such. They're going to have a Fox deal and such.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we still having Ring of Honor behind a freaking streaming paywall that no one watches? Like, why? Why are we doing this?
Why is it not included in the new deal?
It should have been.
Was it? I mean, do we know all the details about the new deal?
Apparently,
pay-per-views will be on HBO Max.
Right. Pay-per-views will be on Max, which is a good look.
But the sad thing is the library stuff is not going to be put on there either. So any past Dynamites you want to watch is not going to be on there. And that's that'd be the most valuable thing to have on HBO.
Not even the pay-per-views you can't get.
Right. You can't watch old pay-per-view. You have to pay for the new ones, but it'll be on HBO Max now because Bleacher Report's gone. Right.
But they're done with Bleacher Report. It's over with that.
I don't know if you mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, I logged into the ROH Club to look at something, and there was actually like a thumbnail for some of the AEW pay-per-views in there. But it said you have to access it through the actual website, not on the app. Right. So I was like, what's this? Like, were they testing something out? Are they going to make the streaming some more like all-inclusive and just an AEW streaming channel, like how TNA has their own little streaming channel?
Even TNA has their own app; they can stream their own stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Meanwhile, AEW, the second biggest company in the world, on this side of the country, and Ring of Honor has the streaming service for this stuff. And
that's what I'm saying. Like I found it curious that they added those links. They were not there a couple of months ago.
And be ready for a new show called AEW Shockwave.
Yeah, isn't that just going to be Rampage repackaged and moved over to Fox?
Most likely.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
that's what I
likely.
that's what it is. It's fine, whatever. It is what it is.
And
It gives them a
and
little
the
more
thing with them
exposure.
going, and the thing with them going on HBO Max too is that you still have to pay the $50. It's not like, oh, if you get an HBO Max service,
Really?
you don't get them for free. You still have to pay for the AEW
I mean,
pay-per-view.
listen, even if it was $20, I'd pay but 50. Come on, man. They should lower that to make it 20.
Wow,
I
Make it
mean,
that's
maybe.
some
20.
bullshit.
I got HBO
That's
Max to watch
some
the pay-per-views,
bullshit.
$50. What?
Yeah, they need to figure that one out because that's freaking Warner for you.
That's bullshit.
As a former Warner employee, that's Warner for you.
Ooh. Good to know. And I'm just reading the last sentence because like you mentioned, because Jericho pinned Mark Briscoe, so it's like, oh, that means traditionally he gets a title shot. Can we stop with tradition? Do something different?
Please go give the title shot to Big Bill, man.
Yeah,
Ryan
yeah.
Fuck it. Next up, we had Brody King pretty much just kill Action Andretti. That's pretty much.
Yeah, it was pretty much a squash murder /
Poor Action.
you pretty much blink and missed it moment when we had it there.
Yeah.
They're trying to tell a story with Top Fight where Action's
It
like,
went-
we're fucking losers. Why do we keep losing?
This is
Right.
exactly what happened. This is what you heard when the match started and the match finished. So it give me 1 second. It went, and then we went, and that's it, guys. Match over.
Winner, Brody King.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
damn,
over.
poor Action got squashed. And in person, it was like, okay, they're having a match, but then watching Collision, they referenced the tag match they had on Rampage, which that's the thing about taping shows ahead of time.
Right.
That when you're watching it, so much is it's just disjointed and out of context if you're there live.
Right.
And then when you watch it on TV, you realize they're trying to connect it to other shows that haven't even aired yet when the other matches were filmed. So it just that's the con about taping shows.
Because I sent you the Rampage graphic. I was like, did you see any of these matches? And you said no.
No,
like,
I don't know. I don't even know when they filmed Rampage.
These matches
last
were
week.
filmed in a random venue last week, and then
Probably
filmed on taped to air on a Friday night.
Was Collision live last week?
They recorded them in Alta Ashes on parking lot. That's what it was like.
It's funny too.
I love. Did you hear that? It was a cool moment. I believe it was on Dynamite where Mark made reference to the Briscoes' last match as a tag team was 5 miles away, and he was like, "Oh my god, I was at that show. That was the House of Glory event. Oh my god."
Missed that show. I missed that show. Oh, I think I took my niece out for her birthday that night.
Oh, I was at that show. Tears.
Damn your niece.
I know. Like, why were you born this day?
No, it's like your birthday couldn't be at House of Glory.
I know. I should if I had known, that would have been Jay's
Well, yeah, unfortunate circumstances take things away from us.
It's funny because as tonight we're pulling up to House of Glory to watch
Joe Hendry.
His name, Joe Hendry, pull up, and there's someone who I know who's having their kid's Sweet 16. So I thought I was invited to it, and they're like, "No, you're not invited." I almost took offense to it. I was like, "Wait a minute, why am I not invited to it?" And they gave an explanation. I said, okay, but I'm going to House of Glory. So I'm gonna, and they're Joe Hendry fans. So I'm like, I'm gonna see Joe Hendry. Enjoy your Sweet 16, fam. Enjoy your Sweet 16.
That's right.
And the last note I wanted to make about the House of Black, it's funny because they get back-to-back wins. And then another report came out, Malachi Black's contract is out next year. You know what? I don't give a damn anymore.
Whose contract is it?
Malachi
Black's.
I thought it was up at 2027.
But now they're saying it's early 25.
These people don't know what the fuck they're talking about at this point, man.
It's like the timing of it. I'm just mentioning that because it's like, they get back-to-back wins on Rampage Collision. Malachi still wants to go back to WWE. It's like we have 4 more years for that, apparently.
Well, we learned it.
Whatever, man.
We learned it. If you're watching the Vince McMahon documentary, we learned that when he offered Brett the 20-year contract for it, that he realized that he wasn't able to give him what he wanted, the money wise. So he went to Brett and was like, "Listen, here's the loopholes, A, B, C, and D." Like he's like, "Yo, if you want to get out of this is the way you get out. And if you want to bring it to the competition for here you go. So there's always some kind of like oopsies in these contract negotiations.
No, yeah, I remember Brett talking about that years ago. Especially when he was like, "Hey, WCW is giving me these numbers," and it's like, "Yeah, go," because I can't match them.
I can't back that. You gotta go.
And then this fought with Goldberg and Booker T try to kill me.
But what was the aftermath? Wasn't there a run-in that came in after the match as well?
Which match are you talking about? Oh yes, the righteous.
The righteous, right?
Right. They came in.
And Lance Archer.
And yes. I don't know. I kind of.
Is he part of the righteous?
I think so.
Well, Jake Roberts put them together.
And then
we haven't seen him on TV forever.
Yeah, he's having health issues.
So it's pretty much the Murder Hawk Monster and the Righteous.
Or Jake, he has to have an oxygen tank with him. He can't be at ringside with an oxygen tank.
But I bet you he's still smoking though. I tell you,
that voice says it all. He may not be doing drugs, but he's still smoking.
All right, what are you talking about? Jake would just be swinging that tank around. Here you go, Leo.
Beating up everybody.
Just put it right here. Just put it right here. This little spot right here. Put it by my neck.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
Just the smoke through here.
Next,
I mean, he's like that lady from Beetlejuice that. At the bottom.
But next up, oh Jesus! Private Party and Commander got killed by the Blackpool Combat Club. Can we just talk about the fact that you gotta love in wrestling when people turn heel, they slow their music down. Claudio got the slow down version of.
I still miss
Pax walking out with him.
I missed the face one where he was, Caddyshack, the Caddyshack version.
Right.
Yeah.
The little gopher dancing,
For this match, you're watching it, and I'm just going. It was
one-sided ass kick.
Yeah. At most.
And you said Wheeler Yuta got a massive chant, right?
Yeah, he got the chant. I mean, I like what they're doing with Wheeler. He needed something desperately. And this was I like making him this guy who's just not giving a fuck about working with these people, but then like he snaps out of nowhere and shows this really brutal side, which got Claudio clapping on the ringside, like yeah. And then he snaps out of it, like, "What did I just do?" It's I like it.
It's giving him range as a performer. He's getting range.
Yes, he's not just coming out with his constipated face anymore.
Oh my god! Remember the era of him and Garcia doing Dynamite main events on a weekly basis? Like, what the hell happened here?
Wheeler Yuta's doing commercials for Docalex. It's like he's still bland as fucking uncooked rice to me. But I have to say that he's giving him, like you said, giving him something to do can be a step up from what he's been usually doing, and which is nothing. Yeah.
Right.
So let's see how that works out for him. But shout out to Private Party who came home and just got their ass whipped. Good for them.
Meanwhile, was it like 6 months ago where they were doing vignettes with them when they came back, like they're looking for a bouncer? And then they got given a bouncer, and then they just started losing again. Like nothing happened.
Yeah, Cheesecake was their bouncer, and then
I am shocked you remember that.
Cheesecake.
Listen, if I don't see Private Party link up with the Hurt Syndicate, I'm gonna be highly disappointed.
That would be, that's actually interesting.
That's the tag team that's necessary. Put Private Party, get them suited up, get them looking, dressed up, keep them out of the club scene. They gotta be in VIP section. Fuck being at 4040. Let's get them in business suites.
And what happened with Scorpio Sky trying to get into the club? Remember?
Yeah, man.
And then they were like, "Nah, you can't get in." And they were like, "No, he's good. Those little segments were cute." They
shout out to Scorpio Sky. He's on a milk carton right now.
Again.
I know they'll be having these random videos with him, and then he just like, I don't know, man, this poor guy.
When the tag division needs teams for them to build up, the Outrunners are over as hell. Private Party's being buried. It's like, what the hell are you doing over there?
Hey, the
I'm still trying to
Outrunners.
figure
I
out
like
who
Outrunners.
and what the fuck are Outrunners. What like?
Have you not seen the vignettes with them? They've been over
They're
on
hilarious.
these shows. They're the
They're
guys
the
that did.
80s throwback tag team.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's probably when I probably did this.
I
And
mean,
just walked away. I have to watch it and I have to pay more attention to it.
Oh, it's hilarious.
They did like a 10-man tag last week. It was like Beast Mordos.
No, I know who they are. Like, but I'm like,
Right.
what the fuck is the whole thing with them? Why is
Yeah.
it like it's so over?
You know, they got over.
It's a throwback.
They got over in Ring of Honor because of their throwback 80s, you know, Turbo. What are they called? The Turbo Floyd and Magnum something.
Matt is like they're the blockbusters of tag team wrestling,
and
I'm
they
like,
act very, you know, Hulk Hogan-esque with the posing and the
I
buns
guess.
and the pythons and the balding bleached hair.
Oh, okay. Right.
Instead of doing the scissoring thing, they do the handshake thing, and surprisingly,
like the Macho Man. Fans love it because it's retro. And then when
so you mean to tell me I'll be seeing them at House of Glory next month? That's
probably.
Speaking of
they'll be facing main event in that House of Glory.
Oh wow.
Jay.
Oh wow.
Jay, speaking of tag teams that might be at House of Glory next month, Maximum Collection. MXM Collection.
Oh, I'm surprised they're not booked this week. I thought they were there today.
Mansoor and Mason Madden came out to the ring.
Mansoor.
No, it's Mansoor.
No, it was Mansoor. It's Mansoor now. He doesn't do Mansoor anymore.
I'm just gonna read this. He asked everyone if it was ready for Grand Slam finale. New York. This was a New York Fashion Week segment.
Oh.
You know what? I thought that was the guy with the long coat. Was that Sweet Cheeks? I couldn't tell. The long white fur coat.
I didn't see. I have to check it. I have to look at it again.
I don't know. One of them was the little Italian dude that's been teaming up with Guido lately.
But this whole storyline, this whole feud with them and the Acclaimed is that they stole Max Caster's jacket.
So they really got something to get the Acclaim involved in shit.
MX Collection unveiled Hands, who was modeling Max Caster's redesigned jacket. Hands began to pose and said if he'd be honored if they touched tips. What am I reading?
Hey, yo!
Hands removed his mask and revealed himself. It was Daddy Ass. I'm done. We're skipping.
Can I just say something?
What am I reading? I'm reading porn.
When he was up from my angle, because I was sitting behind, they had their backs to me during the whole segment. So when they unveiled whoever Hans is before he took the mask off, I thought it was Warlow.
That's where he's been.
Body, and I'm like,
he's another one that's on a milk carton. And I was like,
well, he's injured.
Yeah.
But there's rumors saying that he's not as well. Some are saying that he isn't. So
they say he blew his knee out in March. That's why we haven't seen him.
He may be WWE bound. I don't blame him.
Hobbs.
Well, Hobbs is back now, so
Warlow, whatever. I'm over his ass. He's injury prone. He comes in, he gets injured, he disappears. It's like, dude, he's too big to be doing some of the stuff that he tries to do in the ring.
Oh, please. Speaking of injuries, I had a lengthy conversation. Fucking you saw it on the Turnbuckle Tabloid group page. Shout out everybody who's joined and make sure you subscribe.
Oh, that was funny.
On the Facebook page. And lengthy conversation. The point of the conversation, it was not the fact that Tony Khan is being a bitter dude for doing what he does. It's business. That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
It's business. But the hypocrisy of others who sit there and believe that, like, you know, well, WWE does it, and it's like, of course they do. It's all business.
Right.
It's all business. You're really gonna believe that I'm gonna let a top tier talent like these two go over there, make a shitload of money, get shitload of merch when you still owe me time? It's like a city employee, dog. Like,
right, exactly. I could understand if Phoenix was out 1-2 months, but he was out accumulated over a year of downtime. You better work. You got paid. You better work.
Well, that and the other argument was like, well, that's his fault for working reckless. No, fool. You tell your employee, no, you need to slow that shit down.
But like,
I need you for a good run.
Listen, when it comes to injuries, like.
It happens.
It happens. I mean, look at Adam Cole. He jumped off a freaking runway and broke his ankle. CM Punk jumped into the crowd and broke his ankle. Like Cody Rhodes was working out in the gym and destroyed his pec.
Right, but it's still,
Injuries happen. You
you
can't be
still have to
blaming
get
people.
a
Come
point
on.
in time where it's like certain things are like come on, the way that Dante Martin blew his leg
Woo!
out.
I don't even want to think about it. That was
Exactly,
traumatizing.
like those are certain issues. And by the way, who was involved in that? Penta.
And
You
I'm
know
still
what
trying to figure out how his leg broke because in the middle of the air, it was just already like.
Yeah.
Listen,
So,
it was sick when his whole body moved and his leg didn't move with him.
Oh,
But
and his foot was backwards. Oh,
right, but when Jay sent me this whole thing, I mean the whole thing it just, and then the whole argument with he said like, oh, but he chose to wrestle us out. Where have you been for the last 10 years? That like, and then you were all of us were praising it. Oh, this guy could jump high. He could do all these fantastic things. And of course, he's gonna get fucking hurt.
I mean,
even
it's
after a
part of the
while,
business.
yeah, even Ray
Look at
after a while said,
Vikingo.
yeah, look at Vikingo. Even Ray after a while was like, you know what? I
Yeah,
gotta do this anymore. Maybe I can slow it down a little bit.
I
But
mean,
it's it is what it is. But
People just
nonetheless,
make up arguments for the sake of arguments because you're not
Yeah.
happy that the fact that your homeboys are going to a different company. Which, by the way, if you're one of these people that say I'm with them, where's your pass? Why are you not at the press meetings? You defend these fucking people regardless of what they do.
Oh my god, it just reminded me. I was watching an argument on IG, and they were arguing about Kenny Omega, like the situation about the whole adding time to a
Jay, knock
contract.
it off. Stop it.
And, and they were saying, some guy in the comments was like, yeah, this is the reason why Kenny Omega is going to end up leaving AEW and we're going to get him. And people were like, who is we?
We sound like too many people, sir.
Like, who is we? Who, like, what? You work for WWE? Like,
right.
are you? Shut up, Mark. And then somebody put the Raven gif where he's like, what a Mark.
Right.
Yeah, seriously. Next up. Okay, hallelujah.
The Mark section. That's gonna be where our spot is at all the time. Our House of Glory, which is gonna be like the Mark section.
Meanwhile, guys, hallelujah. We're at the point. Lumberjack strap match. Hangman Adam Page versus the last outlaw, Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
Live reactions.
ABL feels about that.
I mean, you
He's
need
been running
live,
around with the outlaw
you
too,
said
right?
live reactions?
Yeah.
His reaction.
Oh, my reaction. My brain when they announced the match, I thought that Hangman and Jarrett. No. I thought Hangman and Jarrett were going to be strapped together in the ring with lumberjacks around.
Oh, so you combine the two stipulations.
So I didn't realize that the lumberjacks were going to have the little baby belts.
Vince Russo somewhere just had an orgasm to that idea.
Right.
Because I was like, wow, that's an interesting take on a match, especially if somebody goes hanging over the rope, they could just beat him up while he's like being. But okay, fine.
That was already used at a Diddy party 3 years ago. We already had that.
Oh no! Move on. Move on.
It'd be crazy. I just put out a bottle of baby oil.
No, Jay.
Drugged up baby oil.
Take that.
No.
Take that.
Oh my
God. And it's so funny, like when the lumberjacks came out, and then I see Juice come out.
Oh, we're gonna get to him. We're gonna get to Juice.
Juice in his little lumberjack shirt, suspenders, tights,
in a diaper.
Yeah, that's what he looked like. I'm like, yo, Juice is a freaking maniac.
This match is supposed to be a serious a counter between two guys that hate each other. There's Juice outside in a fucking diaper.
He was dancing at ring. I don't know if they didn't show it on TV, but at one point he was like running around like high-fiving the fans, and he's like swinging the strap and dancing like a stripper.
You could not see him. He was in the fucking corner of the screen.
Oh my god, he is.
That's a guy who takes
no fucks.
Yeah, you give him a rope and he becomes a cowboy. You just give him, all you gotta do is just give a little bit and he'll make a lot out of it.
And he works it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's another one of those guys where back in the old NXT days, fucking CJ Parker, the hippie dude that wasn't getting over, and he's this.
Hey, he's over to another level.
Yeah.
But So pretty much Jeff Jarrett and Hangman Page beat the shit out of each other in this match. They pretty much the typical one person goes outside, they get whipped. Then you just see Juice out there in his diaper, and you're thinking, "What the hell am I looking at?" But funny enough, it's playing into next week because they already announced Hangman versus Juice on the 5-year anniversary.
It's gonna be a good match, you know. It's gonna be a good match.
Wow, they really keeping Hangman busy, huh? Shit.
He's killing everybody.
It feels like Heyman's going backwards. He's not going up the card. He's going backwards down the card.
Yeah, exactly.
I think in his case, it's just like he doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to kill somebody.
Is it that, or is this like underlining that the EVPs are not happy with him or something, that they're just throwing him in, these random matches and such?
Are you talking storyline wise or shoot?
Yeah. Storyline wise.
Like, he kind of brought it on himself because he's the one that threw Juice over the ring, the ropes with the strap around his throat, try to kill him.
Right.
But what about the Jarrett thing? I mean, that's still going on. I mean, after the Owen tournament, I mean, it's been 3 months now.
I mean, hopefully this is the end of it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's been interesting to watch.
I mean, they had the point where Jarrett was pretty much down dead, and Heyman was contemplating hitting him again, and he's telling Karen, "Get the fuck out! I'm gonna whip your husband." And Karen's like, "No."
Yeah, but then Karen came in.
No. Right.
Karen spanked him like a freaking mother, man.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. Hangman just beat the shit out of an old man.
It's crazy how over Jeff Jarrett suddenly got out of nowhere.
It was the Owen thing. It was the promo too that got everybody excited.
Well, that and the fact that, to be honest, he works like better than 50% of the freaking guys in there. So like he knows what he's doing in there, and he makes everything look good.
It's impressive to see him still looking
at that age, still tearing it up.
This is the most. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is the most over Jeff's been probably since. Well, no, not even like. Let's think of his TNA run when he was the king of the mountain. He was winning pay-per-views with guitar shots, pissing people off every time.
Nah, my guy is Slapnuts. That's my dude. Slapnuts is my guy.
No, that was when he was over. But then we did TNA winning world titles over and over again with guitar shots. I mean, where's Beetlejuice?
Oh my God.
JEFF Jeff Jarrett.
God, he's so annoying me with that in WWF.
That's Mr. Slapnut to you.
But yeah, like I was saying, like, you watch him and you kind of forget he started wrestling when he was like 15.
Yeah. Remember?
And so you think, he's
Jerry
been wrestling
on the company,
40 something years. And how old is he? But like he's only in his 50s.
Yeah. Still one of the better workers in the business.
And one of the smartest, sharpest minds in the game.
He knows what he's doing,
Yeah, but pretty much.
I was gonna say he was pretty much hired to run live events.
Yeah,
that was the thing when they gave him the graphic. Oh, he's here to run our live department.
But then it's like, he still got it, so we gotta use this.
So he's like, you guys want me to start booking matches? No, we want you running live events. Oh,
and we want you to be in the matches. You and Jay Lethal will go for the tag titles, but Jay's younger. But what?
Jay could be my son.
I'll go over here.
We'll put Sanjay Dutt with you. Remember, you booked him in TNA. Don't remind me.
And by the way, didn't they take the fucking the big tall one and put him like a commentator or something like that?
Made him like AEW India or something.
Yeah,
they made him a producer.
Oh, so.
Because aren't they airing in India now or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere on that side.
And mind you, he's a champion.
Yeah.
And what?
AAA, right?
He's a AAA tag champion with Jinder Mahal.
Okay. And on this note, gotta wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we're not done. No,
we're not done yet.
Oh, come on.
Three-way Lucha Libre. Let's take out the Beast, Mortos, and Hologram.
God, I love Mortos. I'm really loving Mortos. Dude is like...
I mean, the best part was the main point to talk about here is that we now have LFI again because Rush came out, pretty much grabbed Mortos, and Jessica goes, "What the fuck you two doing?"
Yo,
and now them two are going to be a trio again. Because guess what? They have trios belts. We need trios.
Is Hologram over?
No.
He is. He gets pops. He gets pops, and I'm like, okay. He came out, the freaking crowd popped.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who is he? Still don't know who he is.
We're
not supposed to know who he is. He's a hologram.
Somewhere Tony Khan is rubbing baby oil all over himself over that one.
This was apparently Tony Khan's dream idea for years.
Oh yeah,
his cosplay from when he was 12. Let me stop. I mean, look, the kid could, he does his lucha as good as lucha can be.
Just one of those random gimmicks that's forced. That's the only thing about it.
Fun little lucha match. It's good to see Darlistico out there. Right. He pulled off some really cool spots. More like it's amazing how over Mortals has become. Like he got a huge pop when he came out, and I get it. Dude is a beast, but he could fly. And,
yeah, definitely.
And his whole gimmick is it's very campy, but it's hilarious. It works.
Right.
Definitely a guy that got the banished from AAA or CML or wherever he came from, and has rebounded tremendously. This dude is used every week, and he keeps showing off. Now that the fact that you put him with Roosh, I mean, two bulls. They're pretty much that's the gimmick.
2 bulls, right?
And Jalistico, which I think was the original Sin Cara. Am I wrong? Oh no, that's Mystico.
He was one of
Mystico.
them. Yeah. Was he?
He was about Angelico.
But Jalistico, but I mean, he's a good worker too. But I mean, like I said, we need trios. They don't have Jose the assistant anymore. He's in WWE apparently.
Is he?
Yeah, apparently he's been auditioning and working with Andrade.
Yeah, he's like I put him and Andrade back together.
Yeah.
Because Andrade needs somebody to talk for him.
Yes.
Although, by the way, that match he had with fucking Carmelo on SmackDown. Wow.
The best of 100.
Wow.
How many matches have they had already? Like 20?
It was a 5. It was a series.
Jesus Christ.
With a break in the middle.
I see a clip. It's like Carmelo and Andrade. I'm like, boy, they are dragging this feud out.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a series.
And LA Knight's
now LA Knight's involved, right? I saw a little clip of both of them with no shirts on, like pushing each other around, and I was like,
I mean, listen, if Carmelo gets the U.S. title out of this, it's a win.
Is it going to be Carmelo or is it going to be Andrade?
Either way.
They actually did the move where I saw the women do it, where it's suspended on the second rope through the rope going on the outside ring apron, and the other person runs, and the one that's on the second rope grabs him for a power slam and power slams him on the ring apron. I was like, you guys actually did that shit.
Oh, I gotta watch that match.
Wow.
I really only watch SmackDown as clips these days. So
yeah,
Jay, they definitely did that for people in the back. Like, look what we could do.
Exactly. It was like, you took that from a women's match, right? It's like,
we don't fucking care.
No, we didn't.
They go to Andrade. You realize your wife does that, right?
No.
Right.
I mean, she does my shit half the time in her matches too. But anyway, in the main event,
in which Ariana said, "I'm going home. I'm done. I'm out."
Yeah, we started walking out when Roosh came out.
No comment unless Jay has comments about Okada against Sammy Guevara.
I watched it last night.
No, she watched it. She said she watched it yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, because I wanted to see the match.
So we had Okada against Sammy Guevara, who is the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, came out with his tag team partner and Trios Champion Dustin Rhodes. Which, by the way, I saw that Dustin Rhodes apparently is planning on resigning with AEW. So
all the belts, Rhodes.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
more belts than his brother,
bro. He's one up in Cody. I got more belts than you do.
Why am I going to go anywhere when I have all of these?
He's living off his gold dust.
Yeah, right.
Even though the box is silver.
The funny thing is when Jay did that, I imagine him with the gold dust robe, and then it just feels like all this Ring of Honor belts.
All of these.
God, I love Goldust. I don't care. I love that so much. So
Sammy Guevara, who's been punished to hell in AEW, now has a refined push in Ring of Honor, and he's going for the Continental title here against Okada. Who Okada is still half-assing it. He's still not New Japan Okada.
I don't know. Why?
It's a good match, though.
I know, but still, it's a half-assed Okada match is still the best match.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have to go all out anymore like that. His subpar is still stellar.
And Sammy's no slouch either. It's just that he has unfortunate accidents. And you know what? there was no unfortunate accident here. These two worked very well together.
Mm-hmm.
And you just love the spots where Okada's like either flipping him off for no reason, giving him low blows behind the ref's back.
I love that. I love this Okada. That I'm elite. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. I'm
Okada's
so
sitting there.
sorry.
Okada's sitting there listening to Mike and going, "Bitch."
I love that.
Mm-hmm. But pretty much, Sammy jumped off and then Okada caught him with the Rainmaker, and then that's the end.
Probably one of the better matches I've seen Sammy in quite a while.
Even better than the Ricochet one?
Yeah, I actually do. I think because with the Ricochet one, they wanted to throw so much shit in the air, and of course you're gonna hit and miss with some of them, and literally they missed with a few of their fucking moves in there. But at least we're here with Okada.
The key word you said in there was air, because that was the whole point of the match, to show how high these two can go.
Right.
Right.
And
this one, Sammy was more grounded, trying to be more mat based, and Okada just destroyed him.
Yeah, and it was a good work for him to show that he can be a little bit more flexible when it comes to his wrestling game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether it's because of the business or maybe becoming a father and such, but it looks like he's become a little bit more grounded in what to do in the ring these days. I think he's working a little bit more technical, and also being more keen on what's going on. That other fact is, I can't pay the fines anymore, dog. I got kids to play.
I was about to say, technically, he might be on strike number 3, and he might be gone.
I forgot. I don't know if it was on his little vlog or something, that he was saying that he realizes now that the only person getting in his own way was himself.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to all the issues he's been having, and he realizes he needs to snap out of it, grow up, and take himself more seriously.
Right.
So yeah, you're absolutely right about that, with him being more focused on being, like you said, more flexible, and not trying to be like, look what I can do.
Right.
Because in his case, doing that causes other people to get hurt.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
You know? And like you said, he's got a baby now, and he's got to be more serious about what he does. You know,
he gets suspended. He gets suspended for giving Jeff Hardy a concussion. And then he has backstage brawls with Eddie Kingston. It's like, right. and his demotion is Ring of Honor now, and he's a Ring of Honor tag champion. So it's like
but they love him. They love him. So
he's still technically one of the 4 pillars of AEW.
You know, it's his way of them saying, listen, you know, we're gonna put you here, but I still have faith that you can get back up there. Well, you gotta take yourself seriously.
The Triple H punishment after the curtain call.
Right.
He's got to earn his stripes back up.
This is the Triple H in the documentary saying he has to eat plates and plates of shit.
Yeah, exactly. And like it. He told me he had to like it.
And like it.
Right.
By the way, I'm going to be doing a review on that real soon with my boy Jim Fix from, quite frankly, a Howard Stern podcast. We're going to be doing a review on that real soon. I'm through 3.5 episodes, and I have to tell you, I'm not learning anything new. But
I was about to say the McMahon thing.
Somebody had asked me, like, "You're gonna watch it?" And I'm like, I don't think we're gonna see anything we don't already know. And on top of that, it's probably gonna just piss me off with what little things I may not know, especially as a woman.
Right.
I'm
like, no.
I've had my mom, dad, and sister confront me about all the stuff and the stuff I got in the docuseries. I go, yeah, I've known that for so many years, but if I tell you that, you wouldn't believe me. But now they believe me.
Well, that and the fact that, like, any WWE documentary that has been said, done, made, created as such, they pretty much elaborated on that. We just wanted to hear from Vince's mouth, and you know what's happening so far? Vince ain't giving you shit.
He's not giving you more info.
Yeah, it's not giving you shit.
Why would he? Why would he put himself out there? He's gonna hide everying and deny everything.
I mean, the damn thing starts with him saying, "If I told you the real stories, we've been here for a while, or it'd be insane." I mean, it's like, why aren't you telling us those bullshit stories?
I can tell you, he looks like a Madame Tussauds wax statue of Walt Disney.
God, he looks.
Doesn't even look like himself. He looks like Walt.
Oh my God.
I mean, thank God he shaved the mustache. That was too much.
Yeah, please. That's where the landing strip, if you know what I mean, baby. That's where the landing strip. Yeah. All right, guys, gonna wrap it up here for night 2 of AEW's Grand Slam. Of course, I got the host, Mariana Grande and Whole Milk Mike here. for history and headlocks on the New York Wrestle Media Network. The network. Numbers are growing over there, and views are growing up as well. And I want to thank you guys for partaking in this week's segment of Around the Square Circle for Turnbuckle Tabloid. Guys, see you later. We'll be at House of Glory.
All right. See y'all later.
All right, guys. Yep. And as always, to close it out with you guys, check you guys in a sec.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.